You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Under the Dome After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Under the Dome After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another Under the Dome after show. It is episode 106, Endless Thirst. I am Matt Lieberman, and joining me as always is the fabulous and wonderful Jacque Borowski.
Hello.
Oh my god, so much to talk about this week. We had a riot on our hands, life and death consequences, more deaths, and some clues about the dome finally. All right, so we got a lot to talk about, so I just want to jump right in. Jacque, we had a lot of action this week following the missile crisis.
Right.
From last week. Everyone emerges from
It's always a crisis under the dome.
It's always every week it's a crisis. Yeah. Like I was just saying, like every week it's something different, and it's almost like these crises are causing our characters to sometimes take a back seat. And I'm glad we got some character stuff in addition to the big, riot sequence. So, Nori and Joe are reunited with Carolyn and Alice just in time for Alice to have a fainting spell, because she is low on insulin, and she nearly gets hit by a truck, which then runs right into the town water tower, and the water supply is just gone. O-M-effing G.
Nice job, Alice.
Nice job, Alice. Thanks a lot for being diabetic.
Did you also notice, I thought it was, is diabetes, how common is diabetes?
It's common.
It is that common that they would have that many people in town having diabetes?
Yeah. And I don't know, small town, there might be larger people who have type 2 diabetes, but diabetes is fairly common. And in a town of like 3,000 people, 23 people with diabetes.
Oh, okay.
So that makes perfect sense. However, after everything that's happened, and now that people are like, okay, not even a missile can blow up the dome. This thing is going to be here forever. What was kind of like a simmer of tension among the townspeople just went to a rolling boil, and people were just like, screw human decency, screw common language and being nice to each other and
it's
morals.
Now like Lord of the Flies under the dome.
Exactly, it's Lord of the Flies under the dome. It's Lord of Under the Dome, and everyone
not to be confused with Lord of the Dance under the dome.
Yes, Lord of the Dance under the dome is going to be coming in the big news next season. Because this past week, Under the Dome was picked up for a second season. It has been confirmed by CBS, and yes, big applause, oh yeah, because we got a new season, and Stephen King is going to write the premiere episode of the second season, which is like crazy cool. And it means big things for the end game of the series, because when it was originally greenlit, there was some talk of it being just a one season show, of just being a mini series.
And I wonder how far they had written the episodes in or filmed in. Are they finished filming? Yeah,
they finished a while ago. So they filmed the whole season, not knowing if they were getting a second one, but that the ending of the first season would be different from the ending of the book. So I have to assume that they intended to go through all the events of the book in this first season and then push things even further in a different direction. So I'm excited about that. But back to the story at hand. So this water tower, comes undone. Everyone's going crazy, and just tensions are high. And for some reason, all of Linda Esquivel's trusty high school age deputies just go missing. Weird. And suddenly she's like, Barbie, I need you to be a deputy while we sort the stuff out. And he's like, I don't need your badge.
Yeah, he's very anti-establishment.
Yeah, I'm too edgy to wear a badge.
He's our edgy anti-establishment hero.
Well, he's our Batman.
Yeah,
he won't take a gun. He
Yeah.
won't take her gun, and he won't wear a badge.
Yes.
But he will nearly kill one guy, and then probably
Another guy.
Yeah. He loves to do the arm to the throat, hand over the mouth.
Punch.
Punch. That one guy who, so like the riot breaks out at the general store, and
Which is interesting because it happens in the book very differently, and the sequence of how things happen, what I consider to be, the book is huge. It's a very thick tome. And I'm not that far into the book, but I was trying to read corresponding to the events that were happening, and it stopped being sequential. So like some of the things happen
out of order. Okay. Well, just to remind those of you at home who are watching or listening that for the duration of this season, Jacque is going to be reading the book, and I am not going to be reading the book, so that we can accommodate both types of viewers, people who are watching the show who are fans of the book, and people who are watching the show who have not read the book, don't intend to read the book, and want to come in fresh. And we've had a lot of great, Twitter and YouTube comments, but I would like to remind you guys, like don't give me spoilers.
Yeah, Matt's crying about spoilers.
A little bit, because there's one very, very nice follower who's reached out to us and has been really, really great. But she said something that kind of spoiled something, or like it ruined a little bit my speculation, and I'm gonna try to ignore it. But how am I supposed to ignore it? So.
But you don't know if they correspond because the book is so unlike the TV show, and the characters are like wonky and melded together. But it took me a while to even figure out kind of who, like, some of the characters are not even the same.
But it was something about the nature of the dome, and I don't know that they would change that much.
You don't know.
I don't know. That's true. The
dome is an incubator.
And I can't wait to talk about that. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So much to talk about dome-wise. But, so this guy cold cocks Barbie across the face with a full can of coffee, but then runs.
Because that's what you need.
Because that's what you need during a crisis, when everyone's out of water. And you can't even make the coffee because you're out of water. You can't make the coffee. And
he just wants to eat coffee grounds and then run around the dome.
But I know. He just wants to run around like a crazy person. But here's the thing. He cold cocks him with this coffee, and then he just runs, and he doesn't take anything. He doesn't even try to take the coffee. He just struck a not quite officer of the law for no reason other than because he's stressed.
And then there's the other side of it where it's like now Barbie's running after someone who, yes, like, initiated a fight, but at the same time
he abandoned his
post, and this guy doesn't have anything, and there are more important things going on because there are thousands of rioters.
Totally.
Okay, not thousands, but a whole lot.
Yeah.
More than listen to Lester Coggins preaching.
He's not a great peacekeeper, Barbie. He's a weapon.
Yes.
You're supposed to point him somewhere, point and shoot. Don't let him roam. And he nearly, he was ready to kill this guy. He was so mad. Barbie was so mad, which, we haven't really seen that level of rage from him.
Yes. He's been Zen yoga Barbie.
Yeah.
Well, except for in the flashbacks.
Well, even when he killed Julia's husband, when he killed Peter, it was a struggle. It was self-defense.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a rage killing. And to see this level of anger from him, we know that he's skilled and we know that he's done bad things, but this is the first time I've ever felt like, okay, Barbie is dangerous. Mm-hmm. As dangerous.
You didn't feel that when he was burying the body in the beginning, though.
I mean, well, in the very beginning, but then, he's the hero, so you like him.
Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
You can punch somebody, Barbie. It's cool.
Exactly. But this is the first time I felt like, okay, this dude's as dangerous, if not more dangerous than even, say, Big Jim Rennie. Mm-hmm. you know, because like he can actually follow through on any threat that he makes.
Yes.
Because physically he's powerful, and Jacque likes it.
I am all about that.
Yeah, all about the physical power of Dale Barbara.
Well, and he seems like a nice guy, and he seems very cute.
Okay, a nice guy who. All right, let's just take a second and cheer.
We're not here to like psychoanalyze my interest in Barbie.
No, but I am here to psychoanalyze Barbie. That's part of our job. And let's take a second and cheer the fact that finally, Barbie and Julia hook up.
And it was a cute, like, in the rain, like, old lovers, old movie lovers.
You know, it's that cliche that never gets old because it's so, hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then here's the thing. I forgot about how mad I was at him about not telling her that he killed her husband because I was so upset that they hadn't hooked up yet. Now that they have hooked up, I can say, bro, you're really gonna kiss that girl when you killed her husband and you haven't told her? Like, she is vulnerable and she's looking for connection. He was stuck in a moment
that he couldn't get out of.
No. Wrong. He is better than this. Oh, come on. Like, how is he not racked with guilt right now?
He probably is, but he was probably also racked with, like, makey-outy hormones.
I guess it was an emotional day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the magical rain came down.
And they had an emotional day the day before, so they were
then an
just
emotional day the day before that. His morals have been worn against a grindstone until nothing but the sharp blade of horniness remained. Exactly. So, okay, in review, Barbie, lethal weapon, lethal lover, not the greatest fake cop. He saved Angie, who we're gonna get into in a bit, from getting raped. Thank God.
Yeah, because it was a moment where you remember that even though he's like chasing these guys and punching them out, and you're like, Barbie, stop, don't do that. Then you're like, but he saved Angie, so he's still our good guy.
Oh yeah, no, and I was just like, when he got inside that diner, I was just like, kill him right now, kill that MFer, kill him right now. And I don't think that he did.
No, because you could hear him gasping.
Yeah, as we saw
on our closed
caption.
We watched it with closed captions. A lot of them that were incorrect, but that one happened to be correct.
Lots of phantom glass breaking on the under the dome closed captions. But Clint and Waylon Dundee are still at large, I think. But yeah, so Barbie, lethal, Linda. Okay, there's one moment though that we need to talk about between Barbie and Linda, right? So at the top of the episode, when Linda recruits Barbie and she's like, "I'll drive," and then he says to Julia, "I'll see you later," and she's like, "Yeah, okay." And then Linda does this thing where she looks at him, then looks at her, then looks at him, and then she's like, hey, you're lucky. The sparks I saw flying between you two this morning.
It's nice to see Linda get to be a girly girl, though, because she always has to be cop Linda, and she doesn't get to be, like, girly girl gossip Linda.
She got to be casual for a second.
Yeah.
But I'm like, what sparks did you see? It was the most casual conversation in the world. I'll see you later.
Because Linda's a woman and she sees these things.
Mm-hmm. There was no lingering look on either of their part. She read way into it. She was right, but she read way into that, I think.
Linda's a small town girl and she knows these things.
She's living in a lonely dome. Yeah. Oh, she is too, because Rusty's trapped outside the dome.
Yeah. There's no midnight train going anywhere.
There is no midnight train going anywhere. Junior is still a creep, but his story is evolving.
Noticed in the end of this conversation, though, they noticed that the water was poisoned.
Yes, they noticed that the water was poisoned. All the creepy fish, the methane water, and then everyone started completely freaking out. Right. I think we've covered Barbie and Linda, and I would like to move on to, before I move on to the next thing, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed and reviewed us on iTunes. We really, really appreciate it. Please tell your friends about this show. Please tell your friends about AfterBuzz TV because we love making these shows. And if you have yet to rate us or comment on the iTunes, please do. We do read your comments. We do love your feedback. And we love 5-star ratings. So
shout out to the 16-year-old from Iowa. I read all the comments. So.
Shout out to the 16-year-old from Iowa. We love having a great big fan base, and we love talking about this show. So if you want to give back to our time, because we do this show for free, please just give us a 5-star rating if you get the chance. Now we got to talk. Finally, Angie is out of the hole.
And I think this show should be subtitled "Angie Can't Catch a Break."
Angie can't catch a break, not for a freaking second. But here's the thing, right? As soon as the missile doesn't go off, she realizes, okay, crap. Yeah, I'm still with Junior. He's still a dick. Let me deal with this.
Yes.
Kabam! Beats him over the head with a snow globe.
She did what I wanted her to do in the last episode.
I know.
Yeah.
But finally she does it though, and she runs into the woods instead of into town where
Matt
all
was
the
horrified.
people are.
He was like, "Stop!"
I'm like, "What are you doing? You're going the wrong way."
And she's got to know the town because she's from the town.
She's from the town. She knows where town is. I'm like, "You're going the wrong way," and he's gonna catch you again. And thank God that he didn't. But then her dad totally did. Okay? So, like, girl needs to take better care of herself. She needs to make good decisions. I don't want to see her in a hole again.
She did sleep with Junior. First bad decision.
Okay, yeah,
in
but
a
like,
list of...
okay, if he wasn't creepy, right, and you're just going...
He's a cute Andy Samberg looking guy if he's not creepy.
He's a big dude, too. You know, he's tall, he's built, you know, you could see it happening. So, she's young. She just wanted a fling for the summer. She thought, you know, he's gonna go back to college, and I won't have to deal with how crazy he is. And by the time that he gets back, I will have moved away, and he will never find out where I went. That was, I think, her plan. However, not what happened. And he's still crazy. He's still big. He's still after her.
And now he has a gun and a cop car.
Exactly. And he gets all these great contradiction lines. He's like, "You don't have to be scared anymore, Angie. I'm a cop now." And it's just kind of, I feel like he gets like one of those per episode where he's like, "There's nothing wrong with me." Something that's ominous, like something that makes him worse. It's like you don't have to worry about food. I killed some squirrels. Like it's that kind of of like contradiction line that he always gets. But Big Jim is like,
in the writer's room they're just getting so excited to write the next awkward, creepy Junior line.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I bet that they have. I wonder if they have like a jar, like the douchebag jar on New Girl, where it's just like anytime any of them come up with just like a super creepy, awful thing to say, it's like the Junior jar, and they have to drop $1 in the Junior jar anytime they come up with something like that. And then eventually at the end of the season, they buy a nice dinner. Anyway, so Big Jim is just as complicit in all of this, right?
Yes.
You know, he left her in there while he figured stuff out, and I was so worried when he picked her up at the end of the episode.
That's the point where everybody's like, again, can't catch a break. It's she gets saved only to be handed off to Big Jim.
Poor Rose, I swear. And I thought that Rose was going to betray her too.
Yeah.
I was like...
The one person she tells her story to, though, who's going to believe her
she's
is
like,
dead.
Who's going to believe my word against theirs? I will. Dead. But I was like, I thought that was a lie because she and Big Jim are so close. I'm like, why would she believe Angie over Big Jim? You know, she's going to hand her over.
But Rose is a mom type. She seems like she's a very, like, warm personality.
Yeah.
I feel she wouldn't do harm to a young girl.
Hey, all I'm saying is we've seen more surprising things.
That's true.
And we've seen worse. And I'm sure to some people, Big Jim seems warm. You know, some people, he had to get elected somehow.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, poor Rose, dead at the hands of the Dundee brothers, who are totally gonna get their comeuppance next episode. Don't you even think about sleeping, Dundee brothers, because we're coming. We're coming.
Matt Pursley is coming for you.
I am making my way down there. You don't have a prayer, Dundee brothers. Oh my God, such dicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited because they will not survive. Anyway, so Big Jim offers her a bribe at the end of the episode,
which we were kind of wondering. We're like, okay, is he gonna lock her up again? What's going to go on? And he says, you can go free, but I can offer you these things. I can offer you protection from Junior, and I can offer you what counts as money in this town.
Yeah, I can give you food, water, propane, a gun, beat. There was just a beat of silence as she considered this. And then, but you can't tell anyone about what happened. I think she's totally going to take it. Mm-hmm. She's totally going to take it because then Junior walks in and she's just sort of like, oh yeah, I'm going to take you up on that and I'm going to get that gun and I'm going to shoot him. I am going to shoot him. Yes.
Because she was at that moment though where she might not. She was like, I need to kind of think about it. And then Junior came in and it's like, I feel like that sealed the deal.
It sealed the deal. Yeah. Seeing his face alive is like, is not something she can accept, I think, right now. And I also want to talk about Big Jim's other function in this episode, right? So water's out and the lake is poisoned. There are artesian wells underneath Chester's mill. The only one that is still working belongs to Ollie, who is just like being such a dick at the top of the episode, and just like Ollie is basically, he's like new Coggins. He's like he's
smart Coggins.
He's smart Coggins. He's smart Coggins, but it's like the show is in a way kind of killing time until it's Barbie versus Jim, right? Mm-hmm. So Jim needs antagonists to play off of, and we know that they have a history. Yeah, their whole lives. Always fighting and then being friends and then fighting again. And Ollie, there's no coming back. There's no friendship between the two of them. Right. He's just sort of like, they're frenemies. I hate you. I'm going to do what you want, but I'm going to get mine. And like at the top of the episode, why does everyone keep touching the dome? Why does everyone keep touching the dome? It's like a unicorn. In every episode, people are just touching it and then someone's like, hey, don't touch that because remember how Duke's heart blew up. You know, and it's just sort of like, I want to know what's happening between the people who have touched the dome and the people who haven't touched the dome, because I don't know yet what touching the dome does to you. And I really, really want to know, and why can't we get that answer next week? I feel like it would make you connected to the dome in some way, shape, or form. Because we know that the frequency went back on after Nori and Joe touched the dome again. I totally have a thing based on that, and I need you to remind me later in the show when we're talking specifically about the dome, because that is a very interesting point, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But we still have to get through all this character stuff. Okay. So, yeah, Ollie is going to get propane in exchange for the water, and this is the first time we see the mythical propane that Big Jim has brought into town. And it's the first step towards his whole situation unraveling, which is very, very exciting as somebody who doesn't like Big Jim very much. And Dean Norris just does a great job with the role. He's so slimy on this show. There's that moment where they basically say that Coggins is dead, and he does this like concern / he's dead? concern / not too it's like he does this great job of borderlining of, we know he's trying to put through his concerned face, but he's not that concerned because he knows. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then everybody seems to not care about it either in a way anyway. It requires a great performance to look like a bad actor. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is what he did in that moment. He's just like, Big Jim doesn't have a poker face. Right. In that regard. Okay. Let's move on to Joe and Nori and Carolyn and Alice. So the hunt for insulin. The hunt for insulin. It's just like, okay, Joe, why you gotta fall in love with the delinquent boy? Okay, she is gonna be breaking laws. She don't care. Okay, and you're just because the most interesting things to people are like bad things almost. That's like true. The dome,
the Nori, Barbie.
Sure. Okay, yeah. We all like our vices, and Nori is Joe's vice. She's dangerous, she's temperamental, and she's got flame red hair and lots of eyeshadow. Fine. So, Alice needs insulin. There's none to be had. In like the 3 days since the outbreak happened, all the insulin is gone because there's like 20, how many? Like 27?
23 or
23 or 27, something like that. Diabetes patients in town. So Nori is like, well, screw that. My mom's the most important diabetes patient. I'm going to steal somebody's insulin. And they go to break into the first guy's house. She smashes his window with a lawn gnome, and then he cocks a shotgun. And I'm like, good guy, this guy, for not killing these kids.
Right.
Because he totally could have.
Right.
He was well within his rights. And she discovers that she was wrong when she's about to steal a little boy's insulin. And it was like such a sad little moment because he's like, I'm a big boy now. I'm a man of the house now. I even do my own shots. And I'm like, oh, you sweet kid. And she still takes one, you know, because you gotta. You're there.
Right.
And it turns out that them kissing in the last episode somehow caused this static.
This frequency disturbance.
Yeah, that's preventing all the walkies from working and the radio signal from working and hearing what's going on outside the dome. And it's all screwed up because they just been touching too much. Again, vices. They can't keep their hands off each other, these kids. Even though, isn't that supposed to give them seizures? Because, like, at the end of the episode...
They did touch and did not get a seizure, yeah.
Yeah, they held hands and didn't get a seizure and they run off frame.
Maybe it's because they magically touched the dome, fixed the frequency, and then as, like, a thank you or whatever...
As a reward, the dome is going to let them have sex? Oh, God. Ugh, teenagers having sex, cats and dogs living together... What is happening to our society? Chester's Mill. So Julia and Dodie have a what was it called? A yagi.
I love how Dodie is so funny to me because she makes all these. You have to have that one tech person that can make all these like weird devices.
Yeah. You know, she's just got all this training.
Random dome needs.
Exactly. For all your random dome needs, please come to the radio station. Care of Dodie.
And we will have Dodie on a later episode.
Oh, my God. So excited to have Jolene Purdy potentially coming on the podcast. We're going to have a firm date for that, and we will tweet it out very, very soon. And potentially some other special guests. Very, very exciting. So they have this Yagi, and they're driving around town, and the signal is moving. Turns out, of course, it's Joe and Nori, who Joe... having no foresight, tells them what's going on and shows them the video. And apparently shows it the whole way, because I was waiting for him to stop it and put it back in his pocket
before the creepy part.
Before the dome told them to not tell anybody.
Right.
But then I don't know. So they touch the dome, the frequency is fixed, and then the rain starts, right? Mm-hmm. I think at this point we can say we're in predictions, because as soon as we start talking about the dome, all I'm going to be talking about is like the future.
Yes.
Yeah. So I say predictions is now.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay. So they touch the dome together, healing this staticky stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So I reached the conclusion in my head before Julia even said it on the show, and I was like so excited. You're always excited when the show catches up with you and tells you you're right. So she's like, what if the dome is trying to reassure us or take care of us? And I'm like, absolutely effing right. The dome is taking care of the people inside. And what was the thing that I told you to remind me?
Something about touching the dome. Now I forget.
Oh, okay. People who have touched the dome, you said,
yes.
Potentially, people who have touched the dome are like in tune with the dome. Connected with the dome. So what if everyone who has touched the dome is now being tracked by the dome? And the dome is responding. It's part of the
dome family.
Yeah. The dome is like responding to all of them. You know, it's like syncing your phone with a big computer, and everyone's sunk up. with the dome, and it's tracking all their biofeedback, right? What if the dome is protecting a small group of citizens of the planet while it like kills the rest of the planet, like, or just is protecting them
And
from
some
like
of
an
them-
apocalypse to come?
And it might be like also due to the amount of like reverence or fear or something that you would put into the dome, because it seems that the simple act of like touching the dome, nobody goes up except for Junior, goes up and like punches the dome. Everyone touches it with a sense of like reverence.
Everyone's
and,
stroking
yes.
the dome. Everyone's petting the dome. Yeah. Okay. I see your point there. You know, but like this dome is now responsible for the people, and it's going to give them what they need.
Except for Dodie does not agree.
Dodie does not agree, but that's because she's, you know, well, she's an atheist,
She's a scientist.
right? She's a scientist, and she's just like, I can't believe in a higher power. I bet that her non-faith gonna get tested
By the dome.
by the dome, because the dome has a mind of its own. It has life inside of it. It can see what its people need.
Birth things next week.
It's going to birth things next week. There's going to be a dome baby, you know, a dome birth, because the dome is going to cause... First of all, if you're pregnant, why are you touching the dome? Right?
I think people are just drawn to it.
Well, I guess it's sort of like, it's like touching a hot stove. It's like you can't just look at it forever and never touch it, right? So of course people are touching it. But
I was thinking more like touching like a celebrity, where like, you know, you can't like walk up to a celebrity and just be like boop boop. 'Cause
oh my God, it's
rude.
the dome. Oh my God. Look, it's the dome. Guys. Okay, don't turn around, but
It's the dome.
at that table back there, the dome is sitting there. I know. No.
I just want to touch it. I
Who's
just want
that
to
he's
touch it.
Who's that he's with? Who's that he's with? Is that Evangeline Lilly? Oh my God, it is. No, the dome is not a celebrity. And why is that the rule? That if
It
there's
was on the
celebrities,
cover of People.
what, that everyone wants to touch celebrities?
Now I'm revealing my creepiness. Apparently, I'm the only person that wants to touch celebrities.
Well, I mean, there's probably a
But in like a
desire.
handshake way, not in like a creepy way.
A dome can't shake back, and the dome...
They're trying to shake its hand
No, they're trying to pet it. They're trying to
like
like
a unicorn.
they're trying to like stroke its face. They're trying to stroke its face.
Its magical dome face.
If the dome was Channing Tatum, that would be stroking Channing Tatum's face. It's just got a big old face, like Big Face McCreepster, you know. Although if you met him, you probably wouldn't want to stroke his face. Well, you might, because it's so big. Okay, let's talk about what you think is happening next week. We've got a birth, and then apparently something's under a pile of leaves.
I think the weight now has shifted back towards Big Jim, because now that the water has come down, he's got power again, because he doesn't have to rely on this water supply, on Ollie's water supply anymore.
Right.
So I think it's going to be we see so many power shifts under the dome.
See, I think we're going to get a reverse blackmail scenario where Ollie's going to be like, I know this isn't from the town propane. Where'd you get all this propane?
Yeah.
Yeah, now give me more of it or I'm going to tell everyone that you got way too much. Something like that. And also, Barbie and Julia sleeping together is just a bad idea, and she's totally going to find out. It's going to happen. Jackie, where can the people find you?
At 123 Jackie B on Instagram, and at 123 Jackie_B on Twitter, because I'm difficult.
Because you're so difficult.
And Jackie is spelled JACQUE.
Yeah.
Because I'm even more difficult.
Yeah. For all you people at home who didn't know, that's how it's spelled. I am Matt Lieberman. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can also find sketch comedy featuring me at VLYTV.com. And if you live in the Los Angeles area and you love live comedy, you can see me at the IO West Comedy Theater on Hollywood Boulevard as a member of DJ Fawcett the first Sunday of every month. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, and we will be back next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.